Good evening, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving Shorty, and you're probably wondering what the hell I'm doing a live video this time of day. Well, truth of the matter is, my role-playing group has started semi-getting back together on Tuesday evening, and there's really no time for me to walk all the way home, grab some food, walk the dog, and come back in. So I decided to stick around in town today, and while waiting, killing some time, I figured let's read Captain America, the United States of Captain America. One second. I have also decided to grab myself a beer from the Polish shop around the corner, because, why the hell not? So, United States Captain America. This has been coming for a while. There's been quite a lot of stuff about it, the fact that they are using this opportunity to introduce some new people who will take on the role of Captain America. The first LGBTQIA character being in this one, and there's going to be a Nations person coming up later on as well. Now, if you've been watching these videos for a while, you know I'm absolutely down with this kind of thing. Keep it right the hell up, that's what I say. Which means you don't need to know about that. You need to know if this is a good comic book. Well, let's talk about that then. First of all, we'll talk about the artwork. Actually, before we get to that, it's split into two comic books. You've got the arc, which is about the Captain Americas and discovering them, and then you've got a secondary story about the specific one that's being introduced. Captain of the Rails, I believe. So we're just going to talk about the first one first. And this is frustratingly very in-house Marvel style. Not bad by any stretch of the imagination. You've got to be pretty damn good at your job for Marvel to hire you. But it's also kind of uninspiring. That's a pretty good picture there, with some nice little stuff on the top, which details various people that Captain America, Steve Rogers that is, thinks have done more for fighting for America rather than people who just, start fights. And I can't help but agree, and it's a nice concept. But a better artist could use negative space a lot more effectively there, or throw in some extra detail in the back so it just doesn't look like, yes, you can see what I think could be a window in the back of one side of it, but then just really boring wallpaper on the other or paint on the other. I just feel like a better artist can take a better swing at that art style. And it's kind of the same throughout. There's bits later on where you do get introduced to somebody wearing a very traditional Captain America outfit, including the red cuffed booties, and an unnamed female assassin. And they're all done in shadow, but in a way which is weirdly uninteresting. I found myself just thinking, whatever. And then we come to the writing side of it, and I don't want to just say, whatever. There are some genuinely cool moments in this comic book. The bit at the beginning, we got like 7 pages of just Steve Rogers into thoughts, talking about the different kinds of American dreams. And effectively what he's doing is talking about American imperialism and the problem, American exceptionalism and the problems therein. He doesn't actually say anything like that, though. He certainly does it in a different way than I would, but let's face it, I think anyone would read a comic book that I would write. It actually comes across as it is aimed at its audience really, really effectively. There's no high-horsing it. There's no looking down on people. There's literally looking at the situation saying some things aren't great, but we're hoping it will get better. And it is brilliant. It absolutely elevates, like, very early on a comic book, which I was only casually interested in. But then we get to the problem of the rest of the story, and I can't help but feel that they had this idea of introducing a whole bunch of really cool kick-ass Captain America trope characters, which is a fantastic idea. But they then hung a quite flimsy plot over it to give them a reason to go and find them. And I don't care about that. I would quite happily just have nothing but the second half of this comic book, and I think that'd be cool as it is. Don't get me wrong, there's some pretty good writing between Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers later on, including a little bit where I actually found myself really getting on with Sam Wilson a little bit more than I do Steve Rogers. But eventually, it kind of gets to the end of it, and they give you a reason why they're going to just go off and do this thing. And then you jump to part 2. And the colouring and the artwork on this one is just superior, at least in this person's opinion. The colours absolutely jump. I absolutely love the design on it. The colour artist actually really knows when to use like a limited colour palette to show a time of day, but then can just add stuff in wherever they see fit. They don't limit themselves, which I think is a really, really good idea. They also have a rather wonderful moment, well, it's a couple of bits actually on this page alone. Captain America's box out is red, white, and blue, excellent. And it is Sam Wilson who encourages him to go and do something, not Steve Rogers, which is a nice touch. Because the point of this is that there's more than one Captain America. The story he gets actually is pretty damn cool as well. It's scrappy underdog going out and actually doing good against a corporation, Roxxon, which at the moment seems to just be Marvel shorthand for capitalism. Kind of odd that a massive multinational, multi-billion corporation has a problem with capitalism, but you know, interesting at least to see their take on it. And when you get to action sequence in it, he has an awful lot of fun. I've forgotten the people who created this one. Let me jump back a couple of pages. This is Josh Trujillo and Jan Badaldua, I believe. Probably pronounced massively incorrectly. But there's a little moment in the fight scene when I actually paid attention to the Captain America suit he's wearing, because it's kind of hard to ignore it on this page. There's a lot of stuff I like. Don't get me wrong, there's probably going to be people who complain about it. Totally fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But my favourite bit of it is the star on the chest. Because I get the impression he's kind of started painting this onto his outfit and then realised he didn't have room for the full star and just sort of sawed it and did it on his sleeveless tee as well. Brilliant. Excellent. Have absolutely no problem with that. I think it really adds to the nature of the character. All in all, it's a solid start, and it does make me want to have a look at them. Like, carry on reading the 4 issues, but I don't think for the reasons that Marvel expected. Like, they've written a Sam Wilson, Steve Rogers story, which I couldn't care less about. I just want to see what these Captain Americas are. If I can get that out of it, I'll be happy. But I'm going to sign off now. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do a review nice and early. I'm probably going to do Barbaric because it looks amazing, and I have this horrible feeling I'm going to sell out of it quickly. So until then, stay safe, everyone. Look after each other. Bye now.